Hi, I'm Gil. This is Burkland Gardens. Today we're going to answer a couple of questions. A question I get quite often is why is my conifer turning yellow? I had a call just a couple of weeks ago from a customer that we worked for 6 years ago when we were still doing landscaping. And she had bought some trees as part of a project we did, and the needles were turning yellow. So, like, when I talked to her, I asked her, well, which needles are turning yellow? Are they on the outside, near the end of the branch, or are they on the interior of the tree? And she said, no, more. Went out to look at them and said, more on the interior. I says, well, the conifers are evergreen trees, but they do shed their needles at certain times of the year. Like this is fall, and that's when you're seeing the most needles, you know, falling off of the tree. So it can they fall off, they collect on the interior. So it's good to clean them out. And we're just going to go through some of the trees, the pines, firs, spruces, and kind of look at what's collecting. Or most of them I cleaned out or they've fallen out on their own. But let's get started on that. Oops. Let's see what I got over here. So we're going to go over to a shelf area where I can see quite a few different trees, and we'll clean out a few of them. I'm going to pick this tree. It's a type of mugo pine. It's called patches. It gets these yellow. And the reason I'm just doing that is because it's got lots of branching, and so most of the older needles have fallen through here, and I've either cleaned them out or they've fallen out on their own. But you're still seeing some brown needles that are old needles. They're not necessarily attached strongly to the branch, but you can go in with your hands and just clean those out. And those, a lot of times, those needles, like, so we're just dealing with that. And when you pluck needles, even these are, you can pluck needles out, pull them in the direction that they're growing out towards the end of the branch. Now here's a little more of what we're talking about up here. So they're still attached; they're not falling off, but certainly you can take them off. And there's leaves that get caught in there because these are a little more dense tree. There's a bunch of needles, so I don't know. I find it kind of therapeutic that you can, just sort of do something. I wouldn't call it meaning. It has meaning because it's beneficial for the tree, but it's sort of menial work, but I enjoy that. So here's a tree I'm looking at up here, so you can kind of see again needles that are collecting. Actually, quite a few. And just brushing those needles out like that is really beneficial for your tree. So, and up at the top, sometimes you'll find some real congested growth. And so brushing out, sometimes you can take out, I just have my regular Felcos with them, but I'm looking at, there's lots of branching there. Now it's not necessarily what do you think, Max? Just as far as opening this up.
Maybe. Which one were you thinking?
Well, maybe. It's really thick, and it's the top of the tree. So there's lots of branches here. We're not opening it up too awfully much, but there must be 6, 7, 8 branches up there at the top of the tree. But to make it look a little more open, I could take this. So we've just taken a couple of branches out of here. I just wanted to show that you don't want to do it haphazardly. You want to still have the form of the tree going on. We cleaned out some needles and taken a couple of branches out. And, there's other trees that when you work on them, they're very pokey, like needles. And it's a Colorado blue spruce. It might be St. Mary's broom. I've got to, it's called Hist, Hist. Very similar, to the number of them that are very similar, grafted on a standard. But so probably wearing a glove when you're working on these trees is not a bad idea. Other spruces like this oriental spruce or um, this is actually a white spruce from you know Passia glauca, and so that one not too awfully pokey. So cleaning out branches and doing some pruning to enhance them. Let's look at a few larger trees. Maybe this one here. Let's see, these eastern white pines have lots of collected needles. Just getting those out from the branches there. Another blue shag, I think this one is. This is Hortsford, a nice slow growing eastern white pine. So here's a good example. And this has been one of my most popular plant, eastern white pines. Diggy, slow growing, upright. You can see all the needles that are just still hanging on. Just a few weeks ago, these were pretty yellow, and as they were just getting ready to shed. So just cleaning all of this out, you can see how they just want to cling on to the branches because they're so dense there. So, and it just makes the tree look so much better, and it's actually benefits the health of the tree. So getting good air floating inside for your budding and all that. So, and we've got a lot of branching going on up here. I would probably take out, a few of these as well. Um, you know, I've probably got we've probably got 10 branches there that we could work with and take out some and just thin it out a little bit. Maybe there are more than 10. Anyway, just sometimes you just do it when you're passing by the tree. You can see it in these as well. These are either flexless or it's another strobus. There are some flexless in here too. Just another eastern white pine. So now we're kind of seeing more congestion where the needles are getting caught in the tree. So this one, pretty sure the Sembra, Kinsey Rose, and you're gonna just take handfuls of needles out of that one. So this one here, I don't know if it's this one. I've only got one left. I've sold a couple of them. You want to keep it if it's starting to when you look at the overall shape of the tree and you can see it's kind of coming out. I already did a little pruning on it, but looking at this one here, you come back and take the center um, of that branch out and then leave two. Pines have, you can, usually you go down to two, but on these, you're just looking for a landscape tree, just a nice dense tree. So same time you're pruning, you can come in and do that, and you would just make a more dense, full tree. So
This is forced budding, right?
what's that?
Doing this for forced budding.
It will make it more compact. Yeah, it it will do some more budding in there, but more of a compact, full look rather than having your branching coming out and looking irregular and all that. So yeah. Okay, we'll move on to a couple other trees, maybe some firs and things. This is a form of Scotch pine, dwarf one called Little Ann. I'm sorry, this one is called Jeremy. They're all very similar, but so taking care of this tree in the fall, and is the best time to do your pruning. Looking for dead branches, cleaning out those old needles we talked about, and just depending, you can see that one just has some old needles and a dead branch on it. So this tree's been worked on, you know, not too long ago, but it's nice and opened up, and the bark is really nice. The trunk is really um, just really nice. And you go down in the areas where the branches are coming off the trunk here, needles will collect, and just getting those out, you can blow them out or just use your hands. But then there's um, again just little branching throughout the tree that sometimes you see stubs like that right there, and cut those off. Little branches that are gonna fall off someday. So we'll just take care of it now and get rid of them. Make sure there's not anything. So you see, there's quite a bit. Even though this is a tree that's been cleaned out, there's still work to be done. So I mean, down at the bottom, it's a little bit shaded out here, and by that I mean, you're going to see a little more of the dead. So I'm going to take off like dead branches here, here. I might have got a whole branch here that's dead. Just work on an area. This whole area down here, this whole branch is shaded out. And this whole branch is shaded out. And it's going down as well, meaning there's a branch above it, and then it's coming below. So it's good to open that up a little bit. And a little bit there. This is a beautiful tree, and I mean, I'm guessing it's at least 25 years old, and great garden tree that has that Japanese garden look. That look that a lot of us really like. I like a lot of different styles, but I really enjoy that Japanese garden look. There's another dead one and if they're crossing, taking them out. Trying to get down as close as you can. You can come back later if the Felcos won't get all of that stub off. You can come back later with a set of side cutters, like bonsai type cutters. There's a branch that's coming down. It's being shaded out. It's totally dead. Cutting that off. And yep, not a needle on it. So there's no real need to have that tree. This branch there's only a couple needles that are alive on this branch. So I'm going to take it off. What do you think, Max? Take it off or leave it?
Back bud?
Like zero. Zero potential, I say. Okay. Trust me on that one?
Trust it.
Okay.
Maybe leave something for deadwood, though.
Oh, okay. There we go. There you got some dead wood. So, same principles that Max uses for his bonsai, you can apply to this tree that will be a nice garden tree. And it certainly can be in a pot. It's just going to be a more of a garden pot, or you'd have to reduce it over a period of time to get it into a large bonsai pot. So just, again, clean out needles, even like the green penguins, they get stuck in there. So it's that time of year to do that. And pruning this time of year, even your live wood, where you want to thin it out, the black pines and that, this is the time of year that you want to do it. The sap is not flowing, and you're doing your fall, winter pruning on your pines and your other conifers. So again, on the firs as well, you just look for keeping them neat and clean and cleaned out, pruning out dead branching, and clean out old needles. So that's kind of the number one, and they kind of take care of themselves during the winter, but that's one chore that you can do throughout that early fall into early winter. So anyway, I want to thank you for joining us, and I hope that's helpful. And if you have questions, send them to us, and we'll have a video just on questions that you send out. And your comments and questions are appreciated. Thanks for joining us. Bye.